So this video is for all of the kids, parents, teachers, faculty members, anyone that doesn't understand why esports is important for kids and why esports should be in every high school across the country. So if you're someone that regularly watches my content, chances are you already know this, but you can do your job by sharing this with someone who needs to see it, because this is a really important message to get out there. So for those of you who have never seen my face before, I go by Coach Olney online. I was an esports head coach. I started a program at Ottawa University at the college level, and now I work with the Varsity Esports Foundation, which is a nonprofit that helps students all over the country get grants and scholarship money towards starting esports clubs and going to college for an esports team. I give that background to understand where my perspective is coming from as I talk to hopefully new parents and people outside of the esports industry. That's the goal of this. And I also want to preface this by saying I'm going to generalize a little bit when it comes to esports, and as I get into it, it's probably important to note that I didn't have esports in high school. I was a traditional athlete in high school. I was a wrestler. I went to state for wrestling. I understand all aspects of high school as well as esports, and that's why I feel like sharing my opinions on this, because it's kind of a touching thing for me. High school is designed to be the best 4 years of your life if you are a genetically gifted, good-looking, athletic kid. It is not designed to be that way for anyone else. It's not designed to be inclusive to all people, and it certainly isn't designed to make everyone feel welcome. I know those are bold statements. Let me back it up for the people that are confused. Because obviously when you go to high school, you're teaching academics, right? But what we all know is it's what's outside of the classroom, the things that aren't required, which is what makes or breaks your high school experience. Football players are literally designed to be put on a pedestal in the form of homecoming. I understand homecoming is about the community, but it's literally the community gathering around your football team. So the kids that play on the football team are worshipped for that week. They literally have cheerleaders and squads and a parade to march these football players around and show them off. And therefore, it makes kids encouraged to be on the football team. The little kids, elementary, middle schoolers, look up to those guys. They want to play on the football team. Automatically, life is good for those football players. They're cool. Everyone looks up to them. That's good for them. And I have no problems with that by itself, but hear me out on this full message. We can even take it broader when it comes to varsity programs at your high school, basketball, softball, volleyball, whatever it is. When you guys make playoffs, when you guys make state, what do? You hold a pep rally where you get the whole school together to march and sing and play games and do whatever to hype that team up to go on and do great things for your school, right? You see where I'm going with this? Okay, let me take it one step further. School dances. There's a dance around homecoming, there's a couple different dances through the year, there's prom, all these events which are, again, in movies and everything, hyped up to be like these great points in your high school experience and your memories you're gonna remember forever and blah, 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 blah. The problem is those events are only fun for extroverted people who feel comfortable in those environments. But a lot of your school doesn't. And so again, all of those things I said, there's nothing wrong with them. But what they do is they build a very inclusive community and a fun time for these kids in high school to be able to get together and do all these cool things. I'm not saying the school shouldn't do that, because they certainly should. What I'm saying is all of those events and everything that is designed around high school is meant for those types of people who enjoy those events. For the kids that aren't involved in those events, for the kids that don't enjoy that stuff, they're really isolated. You have band, choir, you might have like a math team or a chess club or a computer science type thing. You might have, you've got all these little tiny clubs that are supposed to be designed to help these kids who don't fit into like the athletic structure or whatever. But is it the same experience for them? Like, are we holding a parade downtown for the kids that are qualifying for the math cup or for any of those extra clubs to be inclusive? No, we don't do any of that stuff. And so because we don't act like it's a big deal, no kid looks up to them in high school. No kid thinks that's super cool. And it just creates this divide where like you're either in this little clique wishing you were in this other one because everyone worships this other stuff that's going on. And that's where esports comes in. Because esports is, by definition, a spectator experience. It's designed to have kids play in front of others. It's designed to have an audience. It's designed to be a fun sport. But the kids that are really good at it, the kids that lead it, or even the kids that are interested in it, come from everywhere. They're not just the extroverted athletic kids. There certainly are the athletic extroverted kids in esports, but then there's also the kids that are very introverted, the kids that would rather focus on other things, the kids that don't feel comfortable in those other environments. Esports is what gives them an opportunity to feel like everyone else. Okay, it brings everyone together. It's not just the introverted kids, it's the introverted kids, it's the extroverted kids. It's the kids that really care about school, it's the kids that don't particularly care about school. It's the entire spectrum of your school. The one thing that they all have in common, literally 9 out of 10 high schoolers, the one thing is they all play video games. So esports gives us this very unique opportunity to bring everyone together, to make everyone feel included. That's why esports is so important in high schools. It's for everyone. It also challenges the kids who aren't typically putting themselves in these roles to go outside of their comfort zone. The kids that are more comfortable playing at home, playing Overwatch in their basement, when you put them on a stage in front of the school, they're growing. They're outside of their comfort zone. They don't normally feel comfortable being in front of people like that, but because they get to play this game that they love and they're good at it, they get to show that off and they get to experience these things that they normally wouldn't. And on top of that, these kids, for the most part, are kids that are not currently in any other sport or club at your high school. Something like 68% of the kids that join esports clubs were not currently involved in anything at your school because they didn't feel like they fit in. And from my standpoint, as a social media guy, as a influencer on TikTok or whatever, the messages that I get from kids are overwhelmingly, I do online school, I do homeschool because I didn't belong, I didn't fit in. And then when I talk about esports, they wonder how they can get involved. How can I go back to school and do this? Can I still join the club? It's such a great thing to bring everyone together. I have a lot of other videos as to why you should let your kids play video games. My whole channel is full of stuff around esports, so if this piqued your interest, I encourage you to check that out. I also may do a follow-up video talking more in depth about high school esports and how it's structured and things like that. But really, I just wanted to make this video as a plea to all of the kids and parents and teachers who are fighting this or who don't understand or who are just not educated on the topic. I really hope you guys watch this and learn something, and I really hope all of my normal viewers can share this with someone that needs to hear it because it's a very important message to get out there. So thank you guys. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.